Hey everybody, Dr. Wenzel, Brentwood MD. Welcome to video 2 of a 3-part series on male infertility. In this video, we're going to talk about primarily the workup. But before we jump into that, I will tell you, the who should be getting a workup. I think from a traditional definition standpoint, we would say anybody young in their 20s to maybe the mid-30s, we would say, as long as you're off birth control and actively trying, you should expect to be able to conceive within a year. If not, then that might be a sign that you need a workup. Once you're in the mid-30s into your 40s, that timeline really does accelerate, maybe to the 6 to 8 month range. But overall, I would say from the research I've done and the conversations I've had, for anyone who has even a curiosity and no evidence that you have the ability to be viable, you should just get the workup. So here is the workup. Number one, first and foremost, is the history. As in medicine, the most important thing we do is history taking, but not just for you, but you and your partner. And this is not just family history and medical history, although that is important. It is a lot of conversation and digging into your reproductive history. Have you ever gotten anyone pregnant? Have you ever had a child? Like, what is the story around you and your partner with everything to do with reproductivity? It's a very critical jumping off point as you begin this workup. The next thing that will be done is kind of auditing behaviors that we know have a negative impact in our journey for fertility. And in previous videos, as we talk about risk stratifying, you'll remember I talk a lot about modifiable and non-modifiable risk factors. These are all modifiable risk factors. These are things that are in our life that we can impact, we can modify. And the most common and significant are diet, your smoking status, stress, sleep, and alcohol intake. These are all things that may potentially be having a negative impact in your journey. Through the history taking and auditing of these, you really can get a better picture on if and what and how significant these things are impacting your journey. Then we go into the physical exam. Primarily, this physical exam is the reproductive anatomy of one of the most common things we find on physical exam for men is something called a varicocele, which is a dilation of some of the anatomy. And essentially, this is very hostile to the sperm production, and it creates a temperature change, and it also interrupts blood flow, but it's very fixable, and it could be an easy, there it is, let's fix this. So physical exam. Then a sperm analysis. This is something that a man can give in his consultation appointment. Typically, they have something in-house that will run this 5, 10, 15 minutes. You should be able to get that report. And what you're looking at in this report is both number of sperm and viability of them, their overall health and well-being. And then the last thing, and often overlooked, is a comprehensive hormonal analysis, because there are a lot of hormones, not just testosterone and kind of the male sex hormones, but a lot of brain-based hormones, because these feedback loops are very complex, and oftentimes these get overlooked, and these can be things that are modifiable. One of the common contributors to male infertility is going to be a younger man who's on testosterone replacement therapy, either at an irresponsibly high dose or not an irresponsibly high dose, but at a dose too high, and it's creating a negative impact in their otherwise hormonal environment, where we can tweak that and really to where the man doesn't suffer from low testosterone, but also is able to achieve fertility. So this is a basic overview of the actual workup. In the last video, I'm going to give you the action steps that you need to take if you identify with, this is me, hey, I'm curious, hey, I want to know more, what we need to do, how do you find your specialist, and the 3 most common questions I get all the time from men, specifically around fertility. We'll see you in the next video.